Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield. This is Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Presented by Oak Knoll, an active life care community. Also brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Hy-Vee. Score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. By University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank. Proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. Now, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
And the Hawks coming off a record-setting game yesterday afternoon against Rutgers in front of over 13,000 fans at the arena. Hawkeyes won at 111-57. The 111 points broke Iowa's school record for most points in a Big Ten game. Previous high was 108. And the 60 points in the first 20 minutes was the most points scored against a Big Ten opponent. Hawkeyes now 20-5. 12-2 in the conference. That's 7 straight 20-plus winning seasons under Coach Bluder. And the Hawks will go for win number 21 against Wisconsin Wednesday night at 6:30 inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. And welcome to Bumps, another great crowd here for Hawk Talk. And hard to believe, Coach, we're talking about 2 more regular season home games.
I know. It's going quickly, isn't it? That's what we were talking about. Like when we played Wisconsin last time, it was a different year.
Right.
You know, it was in December. Last December, it seems like it was forever ago. I couldn't hardly remember them. So we had to really brush up on Wisconsin today as we prepare to play them Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, too, the way the schedule sets up, and it's probably going to be more so once UCLA and UCLA and SC come in. But you're right. Wisconsin, play them twice, but not since December the 4th.
Right.
And then here you got like Indiana almost not back-to-back, but within the same couple-week frame. Maryland as well.
Right.
And then you got like a one play with
Minnesota, and they were early. They were in December 10th.
So if you see them something in the Big Ten tournament or something, that's going to be quite a while ago too. So just kind of a weird quirk to the schedule.
It is. You just got to play them, I guess, when they tell you to. But you know, yesterday's game, again, a great crowd yesterday. Just so happy with, you know, the people that have come out to our games. It's just amazing. I mean, it's just like we feel it, you know, and you know, we, like you say, only have 2 more. And so Wednesday night, and then the Indiana game is already sold out. So if you haven't got tickets for Indiana, this is it. This is the last time, Wednesday night, to come see this team in action.
Well, it was a lot of fun yesterday. Obviously, that's exactly what you wanted to have happen after a tough loss on Thursday. Bounce back, no letdown at all after the first 3 minutes, got settled in and really played well. And then that second quarter was outstanding. Yeah,
31-10. You know, we shot the ball extremely well yesterday. 63% from the field, 55% from three-point line, and 84% from the free throw line. I kind of said to my staff, where was some of that last Thursday? You know, we could have used that last Thursday. But obviously the defense was a lot better last Thursday. Indiana is a very good team, ranked second in the country right now, and just doing a great job. But boy, we're cheering for the Ohio State Buckeyes tonight, aren't we? That seems almost funny to say.
Yeah. How can you say that?
I know it made me itch a little bit afterwards, but
no, you're right. Indiana at Ohio State, a big game for a Monday night.
Yeah, it's already going 3-0 Indiana right now. So
yeah, we'll be able to keep track of that during the show, which will be nice. And you know, just kind of looking too, there's some big games obviously here in the next couple of weeks, and as we talked about on one of the pregame shows, hey, this is what it's all about, right? Meaningful basketball games in the month of February. That's where you want to be, and that's where the Hawks are.
Yeah, we've got a lot of tough ones ahead of us, too. You know, after the Wisconsin game, we'll be at Nebraska on Saturday, and then at Maryland, and then hosting Indiana. So we have a tough ending to our schedule here, but luckily we have a veteran team, and we do end at home, which I always love, having that last game at home so we can recognize our seniors, and also you know, just have the opportunity to possibly, who knows, clinch or tie with the championship. Yeah, never know.
And the nice thing is especially here as of late, typically has not been the last home game. So
yes,
and hopefully that will continue to happen.
That
right?
happened. And that reveal came out last Thursday. They picked what as now standing now the top 16 seeds in the country, and they had us as a seventh overall seed.
Yep,
a two seed hosting, which would be fabulous to be able to host, and so we're hoping that happens.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, work to be done.
Yes,
right?
there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, but it is. You go back and some of those senior days of that last home game of the
Right.
season have been just such memorable experiences. You go back. Last year was sensational.
Yes.
Megan Gustafson in her final regular season home game. Just a great way to kick off, end the season, and get ready for postseason.
Yeah, and to get ready for that Big Ten tournament. So we're glad that we get to play the last one at home. But we've got some tough road ones before that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But yesterday, you mentioned third in the second quarter, and then no letdown in that third quarter either, Coach. 37-14.
Right.
Just kind of let her loose in that 20-minute frame, didn't you?
Yeah, and we got a lot of people to play a lot of minutes, and it couldn't really come at a better time because we have 3 games in 7 days this week, and so that's usually it's not quite that congested, but it is this week, and so we only will have a 1-day prep for Nebraska, which I don't love, but it is. We do need to give our players some time. I mean, they have they want 8 straight days coming up to this Wednesday game against Wisconsin. So I have to give them off Thursday. Just have to.
And then, but you're right, yesterday, and mentioned this on the postgame show, McKenna Warnock, 13:52 minutes played, 15:52 for Monica, Kate with 14:09, Caitlin Clark with 20:37, and then Gabby Marshall was 17:48. So that's a pretty remarkable that's all the minutes that the starters needed to play yesterday.
Right. And you think of Monica only playing less than 16 minutes. That sounds kind of crazy. But the person that played the most yesterday at 27 and a half minutes was Molly Davis, who had a very nice day. She
career high as a Hawkeye.
Yep, career high as a Hawkeye with 17 points. She was a perfect 5 for 5 from the line, 2 for 4 from three-point range. Her adjusted field goal shooting was 86%. So really good performance. I think everybody also really enjoyed watching Taylor McCabe out there yesterday and can understand just what she can do. 4 for 7 from three-point range, 12 points, her career high as a Hawk as well. Yeah, 4 threes, and we talked a little bit about her last week, and just just watching her shoot the basketball. Obviously, you saw it early on. It's so fundamentally sound, her jump shot. She really is, and it's such a good, quick release because everything is done before she catches the ball. Her feet are set, her knees are ready to go, so it's just catch and shoot. It's a really pretty shot, and she's got great accuracy from a long ways away, so it's going to be fun to see her as time goes on. And how important is it, too, for Taylor McCabe? Shatia Wettering played over 17 minutes, and, of course, A.J. Ediger got in, and everybody scored. Sydney continues to do great things and just get that confidence going. That they work so hard in practice, don't get to play a ton of minutes, especially at this stage of the campaign, but able to yesterday. Yeah, and it's fun because it's a home game, and so they get and it was on Fox television as well. So you're gonna, you get that opportunity to play, in front of a national audience and at home with a great crowd there. And then, it was extra meaningful with, everybody got to put a name on the back of their jersey of someone that they are in their family or they really care about that's either struggling with cancer or has struggled with cancer. And so it's really meaningful for them. It's more than just, wearing pink jerseys. And so that to me is really neat when they all get in and they all scored too. So everybody had a chance to see what name they had on the back of their jersey. And I know that it means a lot to the team. Yeah, it really does. And fun to see Sharon Goodman get that lob pass and put it up and in, and then that kind of sealed the deal where everybody got in the scorebook. Yes, and everybody was so happy about that, though. I mean, the bench was having a blast. Those guys that usually are logging all the minutes we switched roles yesterday, and they got to have some fun on the bench, really being excited for their teammates, which is great to see. And how important is that after a tough loss? Obviously, the team dejected after the tough one at
Indiana to just get right back and just kind of hit the ground running. And you talk about the veteran leadership. That had to play a part as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn from your losses, but then you also stay strong. You keep moving along, right? I mean, it's like you can't dwell on it. You just have to move on to the next game, and I'm really glad that, my players are able to do that. But also, learn from your losses, but keep moving on and keep being confident. And so a game like this, they could have easily come out and just played enough to win, played well enough to win. But they didn't do that, We really challenged them with, let's use this game to get better. We were confident we were going to win the game, but let's use this game to get better and really execute well. And I think they did that. And I think they did it for most of the time throughout the whole game. We only had 3 turnovers at halftime. That was tremendous. We out-rebounded them 44-20. So those kind of numbers are really good to see.
Yeah, 11 offensive rebounds, 29 assists to just 12 turnovers. You mentioned just 3 after 20 minutes. 54 point paints and then 61 points off the bench.
Yeah, 61-9. That's nice to see, isn't it?
That's beautiful to see.
Yes.
That shows that obviously you got a good size lead there and then led by 57 toward the end of the third quarter and just never trailed in the game.
And set a Hawkeye record for most points against a Big Ten school. So that's always fun to set records too.
You have to get out that record book every year. That's exactly what you want to see. And Coach, just a comment on the Indiana game, because there were some good things. Caitlin Clark had 35 and 10 assists, and McKenna Warnock thought she played very well with 14 points and 11 rebounds. She has a double-double. And you look at this game, tied at half, and certainly had your chances in the third and fourth quarters. Didn't play, as you mentioned, one of your best games of the year. No. But, boy, we're right there.
Yeah, we were. And I asked the team afterwards, I go, do you think you played your best game of the year? And they said, no. I said, was it top 5 of the year? And they, no, I don't think so. And I said, well, we can't beat a number 2 team on the road without playing one of our top 5 games of the year. And, where we struggled, we started out with too many turnovers. We had 18 turnovers in this game. We had 7 in the first quarter. It's tied at the end of the first quarter. That's easily, we could have had a really significant lead at that point had we not turned the ball over. And maybe that would have helped take away some of the energy of the 13,000 that were there. They set an attendance record at Indiana during that game. And, Terry said they needed every one of them, and I think they did. They needed every one of them to give them the energy and the confidence to play through that. Tied at halftime going in. We're down 5 going into the fourth quarter, and just could not put it away. Every time we got close, they kind of had an answer. But you're right, McKenna, I thought, had a really nice game, including going 2 for 4 from 3 and perfect from the line, 11 rebounds for us. So that was really nice to see. But just really didn't get the ball to Monica enough. Give credit to Indiana's defense for that. They did a great job of keeping the ball out of the paint. But, Monica only got 6 shots. And she shot 50%, which is a little below her numbers. But, you'd always take 50%. We just need more shots out of her. And, she got into a little bit of foul trouble, ended up fouling out in this game. And that really, really obviously hurt us. Caitlin did have the 35 points, but it took a lot for her to get them as well. She goes 8 for 11 from the free throw line, which is great. 10 assists. I love to see that. But we just really needed a little bit more. Hannah Stahlke came off the bench and played well. She had 5 for 5 from the field. And, everybody talks about the free throws she missed. And that's the first time. This kid was playing at Cedar Rapids, Washington in front of 150 people last year. And she goes on the road and plays in front of 13,000 people on national television. Yeah, she got into her head when she missed a couple free throws. That's going to happen. Today we shot free throws. We shot about 50 of them. She made 85% of them. It can get into your head a little bit, especially in that kind of environment. But I'm still proud of her going 5 for 5 from the field. She had 10 points. She had 3 rebounds for us. So she did a good job, and she's a freshman that had to play a lot of minutes, 21 minutes in that environment, and largely because, Monica fouled out, and McKenna had 4 fouls too. So we really needed to go to our bench.
Yeah, and even though Monica did get 26 minutes in, you certainly want more because she had to sit too much. But And even when you get those early fouls, you have to change the way you play, even when you're on the court, because obviously the other team recognizes, hey, let's try to pick up that third or that fourth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you get a little, I mean, this is what we do. Like when somebody has fouls, we really try to isolate it and take it at them because we know that they don't want to pick up that last foul. And Mackenzie Holmes is a tremendous post player. I think, she and Monica are both outstanding. She shot 69%. She was 10 for 17, but she played 10 and a half more minutes than Monica was able to play because she didn't get into foul trouble. So 10 and a half more minutes out of our post could have made a big difference in that game.
And you did a good job on some of their shooters that had been really hot coming in, too.
We did. Like Sydney Parrish, she ended up with 9 points, but she's, usually averaging about 14. And Yarden Garzone only ended up with 8 points. And, she's another one that's really can be around that 14-point average. And so I thought we did a really good job on their shooters. Yeah,
and Sarah Scalia didn't let her get going, which she's very capable of as well.
Yeah. So it was a, obviously not the outcome that we wanted, and we know we can play better, and we will get better. We'll be ready for them the next time, but we got a couple of pretty important games before that.
Absolutely, that'll be down the road, but that'll certainly be a terrific ball game. But the Hawkeyes have Wisconsin and Nebraska this week. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted best of the area for the 10th consecutive year. Proudly supports Hawkeye women's basketball. Trust Dodge Street Tire for honest auto repair and the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating over 30 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets. If you'd like to jump in the conversation, we always welcome that, whether you're here at Bumps, and I know several of you always come up with a couple of questions. Anything on your mind, come on up, and we'll talk to Coach Bluder about whatever you would like. And certainly if you want to call in, 1-877-464-2957, 1-877-GO-HAWKS. Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder, presented by Oaknall, continues after the break on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
Touchdown! You owe me $5.
You mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Welcome back to Bumps at Finkbine Golf Course. Nice to see the green grass around Bumps instead of the snow. It's been terrific melting here the last several days, and a lot of fun to come over to Bumps, especially in nice weather. We'll do it in the cold too, but it's nice when it's 50 degrees out. Before we go to the phones, just some of the other happenings yesterday as far as what took place from a superlative standpoint. Caitlin Clark now has scored a three-point hoop in 44 straight games and has hit at least 1 3 in 85 career games, and now is the only player in the nation with more than 675 points, 190 rebounds, over 200 assists, and 40 steals this season. And of course, today, no surprise, but named to the Dawn Staley Award watch list. Top point guard of the year. Of course, Caitlin Clark has won that honor before, and that's always a time of year, too, when the all Big Ten teams come out, the national awards toward the end of the season, and certainly will be on the watch, not only with Caitlin Clark, but Monica Sinano as well, as they're on watch lists, and certainly will be first team all Big Ten, and it's always nice to have that recognition. And you've had Big Ten players of the year, and certainly Caitlin's got to be right up there for national player of the year. It's hard to keep her off these top lists, isn't it?
Yeah, thankfully.
Yes.
It's a good problem to have. But, yeah, I mean, right now, Leah Boston from South Carolina is the reigning National Player of the Year. And so she's obviously a top choice for this year. But, again, I think what Caitlin has been doing, she obviously is battling Aaliyah for that national honor. So we'll see.
The other thing, too, that in consideration is that such a well-known player across the country. Every single place we go, their attendance is increased, not only because it should be a great basketball game, want to see one of the top 10 teams in the country, but Caitlin Clark is a draw. There's no doubt about it. When you look at television ratings and go on and on, I mean, it's well-known.
No doubt. I mean, everywhere we go, there's signs in the crowd from the opposing people that they want to, get Caitlin's autograph or spend some time with her. So, yeah, she definitely is a draw, and it's more fun to watch her in person than it is on television. So I'm really glad to see that she's really growing the game around the country.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to be able to do, and she's done it so well, and certainly will continue to do so. Let's head to the phones as Anthony will lead things off tonight from Des Moines. Anthony, how are you this evening?
Well, pretty good, Rob, Coach. How you got folks doing this evening?
Good.
Very good. Thanks, Anthony.
Coach, congratulations on the win yesterday. And how about those Lady Hawkeyes? I figured that we probably bounced back on after that tough loss against Indiana last Thursday night. I had a couple of questions I have for you. I'll have one for Rob here. And first question is for you, Coach. Going back to that Indiana game last week, have we overlooked our opponent on that night? I know Caitlin Clark has been shoved to the floor a number of times. There's no calls on that one, but that kid is really a tough kid. And I was wondering about that one. And, Coach, what's your concerns against Wisconsin at home as well also this week? And Rob, what are your thoughts about the Super Bowl last night? Despite the Eagles didn't win, and I'll hang up and listen, and go Hawks. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
well, I was kind of hoping the Chiefs would win.
You were hoping
they
for the
did.
Chiefs? Yeah,
absolutely.
So
and hoping
was
for
I.
a great game.
Well,
and it really was.
We have two huge
Yes,
Chief
you do.
supporters in our locker room, and that's Caitlin Clark and Molly Davis, and they are huge Chief fans. And so I was happy for those guys, you know. And my dad's a Chiefs fan as well as a Green Bay
They're a
Packer
fun team
fan,
to watch,
so,
which is really enjoyable, I think.
Yeah, so I was glad for that. I think Anthony asked if we overlooked Indiana, but I'm not sure. Anthony, I can guarantee you we did not overlook Indiana. I mean, we really practiced hard for them. I think we prepared hard for them. And, you know, they're a really good team that right now is taking it at Ohio State, 34-14. So doing a good job on the road against Ohio State as well. They're really on a roll. That's a very, very good team. You know, they're a number 1 seed picked. And so, they're an excellent team, and we're hoping to get them at our place.
Yeah, and you mentioned, too, about the physical play that Caitlin experiences night in and night out.
Yeah, I mean, and that is what happens when you're one of the best players in America is people don't know how to guard you, so they're going to try to, you know, intimidate you, beat you up, get to your head, frustrate you. And so Caitlin's been putting up with that for a long time.
Yeah, and obviously spends a lot of time in the off season, weight program, and getting stronger.
Right.
And sometimes because you got to be able to take that punishment.
You do, and a lot of it is recovery too. You know, recovery after a game, after practice, nutrition. I mean, there's just so many things. Proper sleep. There's so many things that just keep you healthy and able to withstand that during the year.
Anthony, thanks very much. Karen, North Liberty, how are you?
I'm fine. I see the storm is supposed to come Thursday, so that'll make it good for Wednesday.
Yeah, that is good. Keep it away from Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, keep it away from us, period.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought the women put on a real clinic yesterday. We cheered for everyone to score, and they did. And too bad we can't take some of those points and use them in the Indiana game.
No kidding.
But the game yesterday was the kind of game I love. You just sit back and you enjoy everything. And was the Rutgers coach formerly a Penn State coach? It would have been nice to see Vivian, but I wouldn't want to beat her that badly. But anyway, good luck in your next game. Remember, they're the red team, so we got to get rid of that red.
Yeah.
And we won another clinic.
I hope we get a lot of them yet this year. But, Karen, Hawkeyes was at Penn State for, I don't know, like 9 years, maybe something like that. And she's been an assistant at Oklahoma.
And then Notre Dame, I think, for a year.
Yep. And so welcome, and like I said, but good to have her back in the Big Ten. Hawkeyes is a good person, and I know with some time she will build up that Rutgers program again.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I liked what Karen said. It was just kind of a show yesterday. Really just showcased your entire roster and just had a lot of fun. And you don't get many of those this time of year, right? So you got to take them when you can get them.
Exactly. You don't get many of those at all. Yeah, 54-point win. Yeah, no. We almost doubled them up. So, no, those are few and far between. And so, you got to enjoy them when you have them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, Coach, when you always look, and you mentioned it a little bit at the top of the show, where you're going to win this game more than likely no matter what, but hey, let's go look good doing it and do what we need to do, keep the pressure on, keep it offensive, and then that allows the other players to get those minutes that they deserve.
Yeah, and I think that's so important, especially this time of year. You don't want to go out and learn, have sloppiness or, put doubt in your mind or in your own mind or, pick up bad, habits. And so I was really happy with the way the team played.
You mentioned practice as well. This time of year, you have to scale back a little bit, especially when you have such a busy week that you talked about and have to take a day off. Mm-hmm. That's kind of got to be a hard thing to kind of decide, okay, what are we going to do? How far to back off?
Yeah. No, it's true, but it's a little bit easier with a veteran team. That helps. But at the same time, like today, we honestly just went, we did some shooting for about 45 minutes. Then we went through our Wisconsin scout, and they lifted weights. So that is a pretty mild day. Tomorrow will be like a normal prep day we have. We usually go, like tomorrow we'll watch about 20 minutes of film before practice, and then we'll go out into the floor for really only about an hour and a half. And that's it. That's the most we spend, like an hour and 15, hour and a half the day before a game. And that is enough. Really, with the players, this time of year, they know the plays, they know what we're trying to do. Now, we're going to add a few things every week to kind of give it a new little wrinkle, but at the same time, we're trying to really keep people healthy and keep people, energized going into the last part of the year.
Film-wise, are you showing just clips of the opponent?
Yeah, like today we went through the Wisconsin film, so we basically showed them all their plays that they run offensively, defensively. And then tomorrow we'll show them a little bit more, like we'll actually show some game footage, like maybe a quarter of them so they get a style of play or a tempo feel for how they play tempo-wise. And then we'll also break out some things that we need to work on, some things that we think we can do better. Maybe that's transition offense or transition defense or something that we can get better at and really kind of show them. And, we're going to show them some clips from the Indiana game tomorrow as well. Not that we're not getting ready for Indiana, but we can learn from those situations to make us better.
So it's a little bit of both, a little bit on the opponent and then what you can do better during that film session.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back with more with Coach Bluder here from Bumps on Hawk Talk. If you want to jump in the conversation, 1-877-464-2957. Attention all Hawk fans, buy your own health insurance. Wellmark is on your side and on the health insurance marketplace. Let's give it up for plans you can afford. Check out wellmark.com/hoops to compare plans. Obviously, your years spent at the university. If you're a graduate or some of the best of your life, and you can make your retirement years even better by coming home to Oakdale and the land of the Hawkeyes. Oakdale is a not-for-profit life care, life plan community, has been part of the Iowa City community for 55 years. It is a community that offers its residents an innovative, appealing lifestyle choice. What a gift it is to give to yourself and your children the gift of life care and financial security. Oakdale is, of course, a proud sponsor of Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder right here at Bumps. You can call Steve Rowe, the executive director, at 319-351-1720 for a tour, or also go to oakdale.com to learn more. We'll be back with more Hawk Talk on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
At Cenex, we're locally owned and operated, so your community is our community. That's why your Cenex goes far beyond the store. We fuel community connections by supporting local festivals, restoring town monuments, and renovating baseball fields. Now in its fourth year, we'll have contributed more than $400,000 to Cenex communities through our Hometown Pride initiative, because community connections make the places we live so special. Cenex, powered locally.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Ah, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, they've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. Here live from Bumps. Now, a little different schedule. Next week, we'll remind you of. It's Wednesday night. We will be here for Hawk Talk, so not our normal Monday because Iowa is playing at Maryland on Tuesday night. So Monday will be a travel day to Maryland. But we'll be here on Wednesday and then the following Monday. So just 2 more shows after this. So make sure and come on out, as many of you have throughout the entire season, which we very much appreciate. And Indiana just having no trouble right now at Ohio State, 47-27. Under 2 minutes left to go until halftime. So if that holds, Indiana will maintain its position atop the conference at 14-1. That's including a win tonight if that takes place. The Hawkeyes at 12-2. Maryland at 12-3, playing very well. Winners of 3 in a row. Ohio State would fall to 10-5, and then Michigan at 10-4. And the Wolverines have won 4 games in a row. Yesterday, Maryland took care of Illinois, 82-71. Michigan with a 5-point victory over Iowa's Saturday opponent, Nebraska, 80-75. And Michigan State in overtime defeated Penn State 81-75. And Purdue notched a victory against Northwestern 76-61. And, Coach, obviously you've got Indiana again, got Maryland again.
Yep.
But don't have Ohio State or Michigan, but you have victories against them. So they kind of jumble that seeding for the Big Ten tournament. That's a positive.
Yes, it is a positive. It is. And, you're talking about Michigan State, so I just want to, Susie Merchant is out for the year, we think. She's had some heart issues and some health issues, and unfortunately, she is taking a little bit of a leave of absence for health reasons, and Dean Lockwood has taken over, a very capable assistant. He took over for Pat Head Summit when she left Tennessee, was, not well enough to coach down there, so he's had great experience, and just want to wish Susie wish her well.
Yeah, that's a tough thing to have happen anytime, but especially during
the
a season.
Yes, indeed.
Well, let's go back to the phones and bring in Will from Coralville. Will, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
So I have a short comment and a question. You were talking about National Player of the Year and those kind of postseason awards. And I know in this day and age so much is talked about in terms of numbers and statistics. And, of course, Caitlin has great statistics, great numbers. But when you use the eyeball test, she's in a class by herself. There are 3-point shots, and there are Caitlin Clark 3-point shots. There are long passes, and there are Caitlin Clark long passes. There are fast breaks, and there are Caitlin Clark-led fast breaks. There are handles, and there are Caitlin Clark handles.
Yeah.
She is the GOAT. And when you're on national television, people get to see that. But I hope they'll use that eyeball test when they're making those decisions.
I agree with you, Will. I mean, when you watch, the impact that she has on the game, how much she has the ball in her hands, And that could be good or bad, right? Like if you're, having the ball in your hands all that time, it requires a lot of, strength, energy, concentration, skill. And for her, how much she impacts the games, not only with just points, but also with assists and with rebounds. It's amazing to me. So I'm obviously a Caitlin fan, like many of us are around here, and all believe that she does deserve that National Player of the Year. It is hard to take it away from somebody that's ranked number 1 in the country, though. And with South Carolina being ranked number 1 in the country, it is difficult. But at the same time, we all know how great Caitlin is.
No doubt about that. Anything else, Will?
Nope, I think that's the comment. Go Hawks.
Thanks,
you.
Will.
Yeah, well said. And he's right. There's Caitlin Clark threes. There's Caitlin Clark passes that you just don't see when you're watching other games.
Absolutely not.
I don't care how good the teams are.
I mean, her passes are just, and we get to see it every day in practice, which is so much fun. I mean, I love that we get to see that and just get that first that first sight of it all the time is amazing. So.
And defensively, how great energy yesterday. Had 3 steals.
Yes.
And just got out of that passing lane and led those fast breaks. And she's talked about it where the defense leads to the offense and didn't mention the rebounding. She's a tremendous rebounder for a guard.
One of the best rebounding guards in the country. She is. She just has the way of getting the ball in her hands. And, yesterday she only has 4 rebounds. But remember, she only played half the game. So.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And then that's when it's just amazing on that weak side. She's all of a sudden just standing there on the baseline or the block. The ball grabs the ball, and then here we go.
Yeah, she likes to have that ball in her hands in transition, so that's a way to get
You don't mind that either, do you?
I do not mind that. No, don't mind that at all.
No. Coach, I wanted to kind of go back and talk a little bit about practices and just how they're set up.
Yeah.
Just during the regular year, how much time you maybe spend on during conference play, skill development, opponent, putting in new wrinkles, new plays, that type of thing.
Yeah. We kind of have a template for practice, and it changes as the year goes on. Like right now, a little bit different. What we like to do is, we come in after film, and we've watched that, and we have a great strength and conditioning coach, Lindsay Dinkelman, who stretches them out for practice and does their weight training. And we still try to lift twice a week this time of year. During the off season, we're lifting 3 times a week for an hour, really trying to build strength. But this time of year, we're just getting in there for 20 to 30 minutes twice a week just to try to maintain strength and really just so that they don't lose it and don't get we go too long and then we lift and then they're sore. We don't want to have that. So we want to have that consistency during the course of the year. But, we really try to do, we get in our full court drills to kind of get warmed up for practice. We go into shooting. We break up into groups. So posts are working on post shots. Guards are working on guard shots. We then put them together, posts and guards, because I really believe that synergy is so important. And then we go into kind of a scrimmage situation. After we shoot free throws, we come back. Now we're going to focus on defense. So we kind of set it that way. We focus on offense to begin with. After the break, we kind of focus on defense.
So is it kind of during that scrimmage period where, you might recognize somebody's really coming on during the year, getting better, improvement? Do you kind of see it there, or do you see it more in the individual stuff?
No, it's probably at this time of year. It's probably more during the scrimmages because you recognize what they're doing a little bit more than like during fundamental drills and that sort of thing. During the summer, we're really just trying to learn. We're putting in how do we handle a down screen? How do we handle this ball screen? How do we handle the flex screen? How do we handle the back screen? So all that information is kind of given and taught in June and in September and October. And now it's more like, okay, fine tuning and let's get ready for the next game for the next opponent. So our defensive drills are all based on what they're going to run for the next game.
And then obviously, does that include player to player, different zones you might use as well?
Absolutely. Like we might, we kind of have 3 defenses that we really stick to quite a bit. And so we try to work on all 3 of those, to prepare for the next game. Like sometimes you can't use a triangle and 2 against a team. So, maybe you're not going to work on that this particular week. And some games you're going to use it more. And so you'll really spend some time on it.
And we've seen that.
Yes. Yes, you have.
Well, we'll be back. I want to talk a little bit more about that and then some of the plays that the Hawkeyes run as well. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. What connections do you have to corn? Those connections translate into wins for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using #IowansWin. Hard to believe, but the college baseball season starts this Friday as Coach Heller and the Hawkeyes will start off the year in Florida, but will host 27 home games, including multiple Big Ten weekend series. So come on out to the ballpark. Season tickets, custom mini plans, got a ticket for you. Always fun. And Coach Heller and the Hawkeyes are playing during the weekend, and you can plan your day at Dwayne Banks Field by visiting HawkeyeSports.com. Should have another terrific team to put on the field this year. We'll be back with more Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder. We're presented by Oaknall, and we'll continue on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
We all love a good win, catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4-Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatKirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Back at Bumps here at Fick Pine. Appreciate everyone coming out again tonight as we get set for the final midweek home game. Hard to believe this season has rolled along, and it seems like it goes a little bit slower in January, but then when February hits, it seems like the month just does not last very long, and that's certainly been the case so far. We're almost really mid-month already, which is hard to believe. But Iowa and Wisconsin, Wednesday at 6:30. That will be a chance to see the Hawkeyes in person since the Indiana game is sold out. Other games this week to pay attention to. Maryland is at Michigan State on Saturday. Michigan is at Indiana on Thursday. That should be a good one. Then Ohio State is on the road next Monday at Michigan. So Michigan's got a tough week, but has been playing pretty good basketball as well. It's a tough league, especially in that upper division of the Big Ten standings, and that always makes it fun in Minneapolis, not Indianapolis, Minneapolis
I know, that
this year.
sounds funny to say that almost, doesn't it? But we're looking forward to going up to Twin Cities. I think we're going to have a great crowds up there. I think that, last year...
We can't let Indiana have all the fans right there.
I know. They did that last year, didn't they? But, Minneapolis hosted the Final Four last year, did a great job with that, and so I think it's a tremendous city to have it in.
And they've really renovated the Target Center up there. I know you were up there for a press conference before the season, but just looking at the pictures inside and outside, it looks like it's really, really done a nice job to it.
What we saw, it looked really nice. And so I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good venue. And it's, kind of one of those situations, too, where you can kind of walk to different restaurants and hotels around the area, kind of much like Indianapolis.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That's key. That's key. You got to be able to walk to the arena. That's what I like.
That's nice. I know. Don't worry about parking.
That's right. Let's go back to the phones and North Liberty. Don has a question. Don, how are you?
Good. I did a story on your team after the season, and I talked to Jan Jensen, and she told me Hannah might be the best athlete you've ever recruited. And I'm like, whoa. And then I looked at her bio. She ran the 100 and threw the shot put. I've never have that combination. I mean, Herschel Walker, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good comment, Don. That's so true. It's so unusual, isn't it?
And then my favorite story about her, though, is that Maryland game. She came from behind. That girl was going on a fast break.
Yeah.
She took the ball away. I mean, she must have closed her down a 5-yard lead, and it just looked like effortless.
That's what I love watching her run. I love her watching her in transition, and just all of a sudden you can see her turn on the jets, and she just glides. It's just beautiful. It really is. And same thing when she, hops off the ground to get an offensive rebound. That's really pretty as well.
Yeah, you watch her. If she misses one, which is rare underneath, boy, you know that she's going to grab the offensive rebound because she's already on it before the defense can even react.
Yeah, exactly. She's a really beautiful athlete to watch, and just as good a person inside as she is on the outside, too.
Yeah, and you recognized her talents early, didn't you?
Yeah, she came to our camp, I think, when she was in 7th grade. And so we were like, this is going to be somebody special. And she committed to us after her 9th grade year. So we get to see him play a lot because she was playing up with the All-Iowa attack. And so she was playing... Even in 7th and 8th grade, she was playing on older teams, and so we got to see her play a lot. And her mom, we coached against. Her mom played at Illinois State when we were at Drake, and and also was AAU teammates with Lindsey Meter, a former great at the University of Iowa. So she has some good genes.
She can play. There's no doubt about that.
She can.
And could be one of those multiple sports. She probably could have gone a great basketball player, but she could run Division I track for sure.
Yeah, maybe even play a little volleyball.
Yeah, I'm sure. No doubt about it. Don, appreciate it, and thanks so much for calling in. Hawkeye basketball brought to you. Yeah.
One more thing.
Sure, go ahead.
I haven't been to very many games this year because I've been laid up, but I got to go Sunday, and I don't know if it's ballet, but watching your fast break and then trying to read Caitlin's eyes as she comes down, and she is some of those passes were just, she hit Monica one time, and there was 2 girls around her, and there was only one space where the ball could go, and that is so impressive, and I'm just so much fun to watch it. I mean, it's kind of like Showtime back in the 80s with the Lakers and Magic and those guys, but I can see why people want to come and watch you play, Coach.
No, thanks, Don. I appreciate it, and we wish you well, my friend. Yep. We really do. And, that's what I think separates Caitlin is her shooting range, which is spectacular, but also her vision of shots is unbelievable.
Yeah, and the ball handling is as good as you're going to see.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Don, and we'll talk Wisconsin and a little bit about Nebraska when we come back. Hawkeye basketball brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes back all the great Hawkeye fans to the arena this year. Bud Light is for the fans. And we'll have our final segment of Hawk Talk presented by Oaknall on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
Love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
You mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Last few minutes of Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder as we wind down another Monday show to get ready for the Wisconsin Badgers on Wednesday, and then off to Nebraska as Iowa and Nebraska had a really tight game in Iowa City back on the 28th of January, 80-76, but Nebraska did hit a three-pointer at the buzzer, so a little bit more room than that, but certainly a dangerous team. But the Badgers, 8-18, 3-11 in the conference, but coming off a victory at Minnesota, 76-70, and then they also won at Michigan State last month as well.
That's right. So yes, I mean a team that we beat pretty good at their place when we played them early in December, but I really think they've gotten better and better, and I really like their center. They have a center that I think is, could be the freshman of the year in the conference. Her name is Sarah Williams, 6'4" freshman. She's from the East Coast, and I think she has really done a great job. She's a leading scorer in their team at 15 points a game. Shooting, in the last 5 games, she's shooting 62% from the field. She's a good rebounder as well, so she's somebody we really got to keep keep track of. But they also have some people around her. This is a team that has 5 people in double figures. You don't see that very often. A team that averages 5 in double figures. So 6:30 Wednesday night. Looking forward to having a great Hawkeye crowd there and appreciate it so much. Thanks for coming out to Bumps, everybody.
Absolutely. Let's keep that unbeaten streak at home in Big Ten games rolling right along. That'll wrap up Hawk Talk tonight. We'll talk to you on Wednesday night from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Iowa and Wisconsin.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll, an active life care community, also brought to you by Bud Light, it's for the fans. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Honda, to see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeyes Sports Network. On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, live from the Hyatt Regency, this is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery, brought to you by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another week of Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Coach Fran will be joining us here shortly with a split of road games at Purdue and Minnesota. The Hawkeyes now sit at 8-6 in the Big Ten standings, and in a fourth-place logjam with Maryland, Michigan State, Michigan, and Rutgers. First place Purdue fell at Northwestern yesterday afternoon, allowing the Wildcats to tie Indiana now for second place at 9-5. The Hawks, of course, have beaten both Northwestern and Indiana with return games yet to come. Illinois is at 8-5. The Illini one game behind in total played because of the COVID postponement with Minnesota. That, of course, will be made up. That's 9 Big Ten teams that feel they are postseason worthy. Of course, with a month remaining in the regular season, there remains so much yet to play for. The Hawkeyes are back home for a brief period Thursday night, hosting Ohio State at Carver Hawkeye Arena before resuming its road show at Northwestern on Sunday and then at Wisconsin. Good evening and welcome to Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We're here at, live as we are each week at the Hyatt Regency's Edgewater Grill and Bar. Thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks to all of you who have come out in person on what was a beautiful day in February around eastern Iowa and around the state. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone coming up this week. The Hawks celebrated Super Sunday with an impressive road victory at Minnesota. Despite the Gophers' problems this year, it's never easy to win in Williams Arena. And that said, the Hawkeyes roared out to an 18-6 lead and never trailed in defeating the Gophers 68-56. Chris Murray poured through 28 points, grabbed 14 rebounds. Tony Perkins lit the fuse right out of the gate with a steal and a score. Tony, in fact, put through the first 5 Iowa points Perkins, Murray, and Connor McCaffery were the catalyst for an Iowa defense that turned the Gophers over 14 times. Each had 3 steals, which led to 14 points off Minnesota mistakes. The Hawkeyes out-rebounded Minnesota by 11, including 17 offensive, which they turned into 15 second-chance points en route to their 16th win of the year. Bobby Hansen was there to witness it with all of us. Bobby, there were many individual performances that merited gold stars. Chris Murray added 4 block shots to his line. Philip Rebracha put up 16 points, 8 rebounds. Connor with the 10 rebounds to go with his 3 steals. And Perkins dished out 6 assists. It really was a complete team victory, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, Gary. And you summed it up pretty good there that, the team victory, the offensive rebounding, didn't shoot the ball well. It just seemed like you got it to the front of the rim and couldn't get it to drop, but you stayed with it. Chris Murray, I'm thinking of, it just kept tapping it up there. Philip Rebracha also, he had 4 offensive rebounds. But, it was a team win, no doubt about it. Coming off the bench, Patrick McCaffery had a nice game. He was 3 out of 8 in 16 minutes, so we're getting Patrick around him back into form and just be another weapon for Coach McCaffery to use. So, when you go up there, never underestimate your opponent. Gary, I think that was the number one key because they're going to give it to you. They were down. Dawson Garcia, their leading scorer, unable to play once again, misses his 5th game. But they got a guy, Jamison Battle, who Fran and the guys, Patrick, are familiar with, played together AAU ball up at D1 in Minneapolis, so they knew what he's capable of. He hit some long-range shots, I think it was last year against the Hawkeyes, so I was concerned that he could have a big night, but the Hawks really paid good attention to Battle and made it tough on him. And Jamison Battle was just 4 of 10. He did have 9 points, 3 rebounds, but that's under his average. I think he's a 12-point scorer. So, impressive win coming off of Purdue, number 1 Purdue, where you battled. You battled down there in West Lafayette and 1-2-2, turned them over, 14, 15 times did Purdue. So that's really paying dividends for the Hawkeyes right now on the defensive end.
Yeah, at Purdue Thursday, prior they road trip down there, of course, the Hawks trailed by 21 early in the second half and then roared back to within 6 points of the nation's number 1 team. That 1-2-2 press, to your point, it forced 17 Boilermaker turnovers.
Nice.
Talk about working magic. But that said, the Purdue freshman guards had a big night shooting, combining for 41 points. Smith and Lawyer in an 87-73 victory over the Hawkeyes. And with that game, it simply was pick your poison. I mean, do you run double teams and triple teams at Zach Edey and try and get back to the guards and the forwards in hopes that they'll miss open shots? And they got some open shots and they knocked them down, especially early when they got the momentum going. But Purdue's just a hard guard all the way around. They turned it over a lot late against Northwestern, cost them that ball game. Give credit to the Wildcats, obviously, with those veteran guards, Bowie and Audige leading the way.
Yeah, we got to watch that a little bit in the car there on our ride back from Minneapolis. And, what a day for Northwestern. Stormed the court, and first time they've ever knocked off number 1. And they took that game, Gary, from watching. I mean, they were even down a little bit, and then they applied some pressure, and the guards turned it over there for them. So congratulations to Northwestern. That's a huge victory for Chris Collins over there in Evanston. And we're going to have to go over there on Sunday at a 5:30 game over at Welsh Ryan. So, the freshman guards you talked about for Purdue, Braden Smith, he's a really talented little guard, under control. He's a great shooter. Fletcher Lawyer, a little bit taller. He's a nice player as well. But they were susceptible to the turnovers, and those big guys the Hawkeyes can put at the front of that press, starting with Patrick, starting with Chris Murray, and the length of Peyton Sanford also is up there, and Tony Perkins, Aaron Eulis, those guys, Connor, are scrapping it out, and they're alert to the basketball. So I really like that 1-2-2 pressure that the Hawks have used lately a lot.
It was very effective again yesterday, too, Bobby, up at Williams Arena. 9 Big Ten teams now are above 500 in league play, with critical matchups again this week. Like tomorrow, Illinois plays at Penn State. Michigan visits Wisconsin. Wednesday, it's Indiana headed to Northwestern, with second place at stake in the conference. Thursday, the Hawkeyes host the Buckeyes. Purdue travels to Maryland. Maryland's, I think, unbeaten at home this year. And on we go for the next 4 weeks before the conference tournament in Chicago. And we talked about how good the team was these teams were last year with so many superstars, 3 drafted in the top 10, 4 in the top 15. Yep. This year, it's just a lot of really good teams that have been bumping each other off, and I don't look for any of that to change between now and Chicago.
No, and when you look at those teams you mentioned, Gary, Indiana led by Trace Jackson Davis. I mean, he's a fourth-year guy and All-American candidate, having just an outstanding year, really coming into his own, if you will. Came back for his senior year. Northwestern's got the veteran guards there in the backcourt, as does Rutgers. Illinois got some new guys, Michigan State, Maryland. But, it's every night out, it's just going to be a battle, and you got to be prepared for it. And that's the beauty of it. I love this time of year as we roll into halfway through February, get into March, and every game obviously means something. Everybody's looking and jockeying for position, but nothing you can do but take care of your own business.
A special time of the year for players and coaches, broadcasters, and certainly the fans. And we'd like to hear from you tonight. Questions and comments are certainly welcome for Coach Fran McCaffery on Facebook or on Twitter. On Twitter, you can reach us at Gary Dolphin, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. And should we select your question or your comment or your insight, you win a $100 gift certificate from Authentic Brand. Our friends at Authentic Brand. I've got the Authentic Brand pullover on tonight. Bobby's got his hoodie going, and we'd like you to join us on behalf of Authentic Brand on Twitter or Facebook. Submit an interesting question for Coach McCaffery each week via Twitter or Facebook. On Twitter at Gary Dolphin or Facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. And you could win a $100 gift certificate for Hawkeye gear from Authentic Brand. Thank you, Authentic Brand. Clark Perry, a great Iowa company. Clark Fessler in Perry, a great Iowa company. Authentic Brand is a proud partner of the Hawks, not only outfitting our broadcast crew, but outfitting thousands of fans on game day. Gear up for game day and every day in officially licensed Hawkeye apparel and accessories from Authentic Brand. Of course, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. It'd be nice to bring your best half, your other half out to the Hyatt Regency and enjoy dinner. Maybe an overnight stay here at the Hyatt Regency. And they'd love to host you with a special. Coralville's Edgewater Grill is having their chefs put together a special 4-course meal for 2, featuring your choice of appetizer, salad, entree, and dessert. Entree choices include seared Chilean sea bass, grilled Berkshire pork chop, and the filet mignon. Finish the night with your dessert choice of either warm apple crepes or mocha cappuccino mousse. Now, this dinner for 2 is just $99 and includes a glass of champagne for each one of you. Make your reservations tonight or tomorrow morning. Give the Edgewater Grill a call at 319-541-0638. 319-541-0638. We'll be right back and get into the meat and potatoes of Hawk Talk right after this. Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
You mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. Welcome back to our coverage at the Edgewater Grill and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency. And we thank you so much for your attention both on the radio and here in person as we get into February by another week. And the Big Ten race is about as tight as we've seen it, at least where it involves so many teams from top to bottom, certainly 1 through 9 or 10. So that tells you there's a lot to be determined between now and, 4 weeks from now. In fact, when you look at the Big Ten standings, especially after last night with Northwestern upsetting the number 1 ranked team in Purdue, you still have the Boilermakers on top at 12-3. The new rankings out today, by the way, have Purdue at number 3. Boilermakers at 12-3, 23-3 overall. Indiana is ranked 14th on the new poll, and in that second place position with Northwestern. Both the Wildcats and Indiana are 9-5, and each with 18 wins overall. Then you have Illinois at 8-5, and here are the 8-6 teams joining Iowa: Maryland, Rutgers, Michigan State, Michigan, all at 8-6. Wisconsin's at 6-8, Penn State at 5-9, Nebraska 5-10, Ohio State and Minnesota are 13th and 14th. Bobby, you've got from the 8-6 teams to Purdue, you've got a logjam of roughly you've got a logjam of 9. Yeah. And I don't ever remember it being this tight or this close. So what is that? 3 games between first and 9th place. It's been a while.
It has. 15 games played. You got 5 left for Purdue. A couple of teams have Illinois only played, 12, 13 games. They got to make one up there, but the Hawkeyes sitting at 14 games played, 8-6, in a good position, Gary. I like how they're playing. I like how they're sitting there, and it's next one on the schedule. Ohio State, they got us over there in Columbus. Sensabaugh and his running mate in the backcourt got loose there, but I like to say a little payback time now on Thursday night, the late game. 8 o'clock, and I don't know what's going on with Ohio State. They're having some struggles right now, but want to keep them down while they come in here to Iowa City.
Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery is sponsored by Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes Hawk fans to Carver Hawkeye Arena this year. Bud Light is for the fans. By the way, the Hawkeyes' latest net rating is 39. Ohio State is 54. And Northwestern on Sunday is rated 44. Of course, it changes almost daily. And but the Hawks are in good shape. They're in good shape with the quad 1 wins, and it's still too early to get too caught up in that. But the point is, Iowa's won 8 of its last 11 games, and if not playing their best basketball this season, they certainly are playing some of their best basketball this year. You got Chris Murray averaging 21 points. Rebrache is at 14 points, 8 rebounds. By the way, Chris is averaging 8.5 boards. Tony Perkins at 11 points, almost 4 boards. Patrick McCaffery at 11 points and 4 rebounds. 9.5 points and 4 boards for Connor McCaffery. Of course, Connor is the top assist man and one of the best assist turnover ratio players in the country. And Bobby, goes back to the top of the show where we talked about they're getting contributions from a lot of players, a lot of up and down the roster.
Yeah, Gary, and in different ways, too. I mean, we talked about the offensive rebounding. You remember the action there. Connor hits the three-pointer to put the Hawkeyes by 10 there at 61-51, just outside the 5-minute mark. But that came off 3 offensive rebounds by the Hawkeyes. I think Phillip had one, Connor had one, and maybe Chris had one. Finally, the kick out to Connor for the 3, and it was kind of game over at that point. Chris followed that up with another 3 to put him up by 12 inside of about 4 minutes. So that's a mark of a really good team right there. And this team is connected. They're together. They trust each other, and they got a nice rotation going on right now. Step up there and make the free throws, but it's going to come down to rebounding, and that's, everybody's got to contribute. All 5 guys. We want to run, obviously. They take really good care of the basketball. Yesterday, just 5 turnovers. Really only had 4. The final turnover came at the end of the game when you didn't want to throw a shot up there with 1 second to go. So, yeah, that's in major college basketball. That's unheard of when you play that fast and don't turn it over.
15 second chance points, thanks to 17 offensive rebounds. Points off turnovers, 12 more than Minnesota. Hawks turned Minnesota over a total of 14 times. Iowa turned the ball over just 5 times. I love what Chris Murray said on our post-game show. I asked him, I said, you're playing at such a high level, a consistent level. I said, what is different about you last year to this year? And he said, well, and we had just talked about how frustrating it was in that stretch in the first half when nothing would fall. They were getting to the rim, layups, bank shots. They would roll around the rim and come off. He said, I missed that layup right at the end of the first half. He said, a year ago, he said, I had a bit through my lower lip, but he said, I've learned to not let that bother me anymore. I just walked off the floor, got ready for the second half. I knew we still had 20 minutes. And he said, I think that permeates the team. Yeah, we're frustrated to a certain degree, but not overly frustrated that those shots weren't going. He said, the fact that we were getting there and getting those shots, we knew they'd fall eventually. Yeah, you've lived it. You know what he's talking about.
That's a good point. Yeah, I probably would have bit through my lip remembering back to my career.
You got hit in the lip a few times.
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of that there. But, yeah, that's a mature team, Gary. That's what that is right there. You've been through the wars. You know what to expect. And like you said, we knew we were getting good shots. We're right there at the rim. And it was unbelievable how they just kind of rolled off there in the old barn, built in 1928. Didn't have a whole lot of people there, so what you had to do there was create your own energy. Early tip, and the Hawks came out and got after him. And credit Tony Perkins. I don't know if we've talked enough about Tony, but he came out and dogged the guards and got a steal, got an N1. He put the Hawkeyes out 5-0 once again. A quick start there by Tony, so good to see.
The other point I want to make before I forget it is Chris Murray had just a phenomenal game, 28-14. And we get caught up in all the stats, and that's a fan thing. But what a defensive job he and his teammates put on Jamison Battle.
Yeah, it wasn't just one guy. I saw Connor start on him, and then Chris was guarding him at times. Other guys were guarding him, but they were just making it tough on him. He's a streaky shooter. He gets going. He hit one, I think, at 32-29 there at the end of the first half to 22nd mark there to get his first 3-point made. It's like, okay, guard this guy now because he can really get it cooking, and he never did. He never did in that game. And they're shorthanded, no doubt about it. Inside, they got a couple of quick fouls on Joseph early, or Payne early in that one. But there was no doubt the Hawkeyes were not going to go out there on the road and lose that one. That's a good road win going out there on Sunday afternoon.
Chris Murray's 6th double-double of the season with game highs in points at 28 and rebounds at 14. He had 3 steals, 2 assists, two block shots, a partridge in a pear tree, and the Hawks win for the 8th time in their last 11 games dating back to January 5th. We will come back with more Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We'll get Fran to join us here when we return. We're at the Hyatt Regency tonight, as we are each and every week. We invite you to come on out, mostly on Monday nights. We will be on a Monday night from here on out, with the exception of one, perhaps 2 shows. We're sponsored by U.S. Cellular, bringing locally grown connections all season long with any phone free for new and current customers. Any phone free from U.S. Cellular. And by Iowa Corn. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Take a closer look and you'll discover the many connections you have to corn. And those connections translate into wins for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using hashtag Iowans win. Happy Valentine's Day from the Hyatt Regency. And we're back with Coach McCaffery from Learfield right after this.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spon & Rose like GAF. Use the Spon & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spon & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spon & Rose, buy easier, build better.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Time to redo this basement?
Yeah. A home gym, movie theater, model train utopia.
Or yoga studio?
I'm flexible-ish.
Great. I'll just use the U.S. Bank mobile app so we can plan it out.
Which way are you leaning? Setting a savings goal or applying for a home improvement loan?
I say we look at both options, right here in the app.
Budget for a really good home gym. We deserve it.
Noted.
Help for today, planning for tomorrow. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
When it comes to great sounding deals, sometimes the only thing you can trust is that there's something they're not telling you. So when we tell you that at US Cellular you can choose from any unlimited evolved plan and get $700 off any phone with no hidden requirements and no trade-in needed, you're probably thinking, yeah, right. But in this case, that actually is right. Because at US Cellular, you actually can trust that we mean what we say. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Ah, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Hawk Talk rolls along here from the Hyatt Regency, Edgewater Grill and Bar. Hi to our regular group here tonight. Always got some newcomers stopping by to say hi, Hawk fans, and we love you all. Happy Valentine's Day. From the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Grill and Bar, Coach McCaffery now is on board with us. The Hawks dominated the rebounding statistic yesterday, especially on the offensive glass. 17 offensive boards to only 2 for the Gophers. And the 2 offensive rebounds, that equaled a season low for an Iowa opponent. Penn State had just 2 out in Happy Valley to start the year. Coach, let's start with those 2 categories. I know you're pleased overall, but you've said it ad nauseum, when you control the glass and especially get offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities, chances are really good you're going to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this week. You look at that game, and obviously it was the difference. You know, we had that stretch in the first half where the ball just wasn't falling. You got to go back and get it. And we talked about, you know, when we fell behind on the road against Purdue and cut it to 6, which was a great job by our guys. But we missed a lot of shots that night, and we didn't get enough of them back. And we're playing against the number 1 rebounding team in the country, number 1 offensive rebounding. We forced them to miss a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But they got a bunch of them back. And that's how they were able to hold us off when we made our run. They're a hard team to rebound against. They're really big and really physical. And you know, it helps when you have Zach. But, you know, yesterday, very uncharacteristic first half. I was really proud of Chris because he missed 6 or 7 shots yesterday in the first half. He hasn't missed in his entire life.
Right at the rim, too.
Right, yeah, I mean, and you know, and I'm thinking, he's got to be getting fouled. Is he getting fouled? Are they missing calls? And a lot of times what happens, and he kind of, you referenced it before, a lot of times you can't get it going in the right direction. You know, you're sideways and you get tentative, then you can't get a three to drop, then you miss a front end, and your game goes south. We went to him first possession of the second half. He scored immediately, and he just kept coming. And I think the thing that has impressed me the most about him this year is his rebounding. You know, he really rebounded yesterday. You know, 14 rebounds, 7 offensive, and he made a couple of defensive plays that were really impressive as well. There was time when he kind of showed on a ball screen, got to the front on, they tried to make it like a quick top to bottom pass. He got to the front and then deflected it, and we went out on the break and we scored. So you know, to them it looked like, okay, he got dragged out. They're going to get a layup. No, he pokes it, and we go down and score. Those turn of events in the course of a game are huge, and that's what we need him to do. You know, we know he can score, but we need you to score and rebound, and then we need you to defend. You know, and he wants to be a first-round pick. Well, those are the things that they're going to look at. Okay, he had 24, he had 14, and his defense was good because you know we rotated Connor and Chris on Battle.
Mm-hmm.
Battle's one of the best players in our league
for sure.
And you know, we kind of looked at this game and said, you know, Battle can't get 25 or 28. If we hold Battle under 15 points, I don't think they can beat us. What do you have, 9?
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, took 10 shots and had 9 points.
You know, so we limited his touches. You know, without Garcia, you can pay more attention to Battle.
Mm-hmm.
You put some heat on Cooper, the point guard, because, you know, the only good thing that, you know, when you have a bunch of injuries like they do, the only good thing is all of his freshmen are getting playing time. And they're gaining confidence. They're making mistakes, but they're playing through the mistakes. A lot of times freshmen don't get the opportunity to play through your mistakes. It's the hardest thing I'm dealing with right now with Josh Dix and Desante Bowen. I want to get them more playing time. They're both really good players. But all these games are incredibly close, and so you go with your veteran guys in those situations. You know, and I'm rotating, you know, off the bench, obviously, Peyton, Patrick, Josh Dix, you know, Desante, of course, would be next. And then if we have to go big, you know, it would be Josh or Riley.
Yeah.
But I'm resting those guys enough. And with Patrick back, there was a stretch there where I took Chris out. You know, Chris had the 1 foul. I didn't want him to get his second in the first half because I wanted him to be able to play the whole second half if I needed him to. So I took him out for a stretch and I put him back in. And then I took him out with like a minute 16 and we got the ball back. Then I put him back in, we ran a play for him. And then he missed a shot and he was frustrated by it, like he pointed out. But it was the right play. He made a nice move, he got to the rim and didn't let it bother him. So that's incredible maturity.
Bobby, he mentioned that first play of the second half. I was up 3, and Bobby was all over it when Chris got that layup. That I think it was a high screen and roll, if I remember. But anyway, Bobby referenced what a great set to call.
It was a really good pass by Ulis. You know, we set it up with everybody else, but he dropped it in there nice and low, and Chris turned and scored. And it was on from there. He was terrific. 8 for 12, I think, in the second half.
Second half, yeah.
Yeah, nice little duck in there on his strong side, too. All he had to do was catch and turn.
Catch and turn and score.
Yeah, and it kind of set the tone as it started the second half. So I love that play right there. I like Chris down on the low block, too, but it's matchups. He's got a bigger guy on him, maybe not so much, but he can drag them outside. But if he's got a smaller player on him, I like Chris down
I talked to him
block.
about that at practice on Friday. You know, I said, we need you to post up more. He's doing a really good job. I mean, we know he can shoot threes. He's driving the ball really well. and finishing. He made a great drive and a reverse layup coming down the stretch yesterday. But I said, we need you to post up more. See, last year, Keegan was our main post-up guy. And we posted up Chris some, but Keegan was one of maybe the best, or certainly one of the best. You know, he and Edie probably post-up players in the league last year. We don't have Keegan. So, Chris, we need you to post up. Now, Philip Brach is doing a great job there as well. I mean, and the great thing about him yesterday was he had a couple roll out on him early and a couple bumps and no call. And he was getting frustrated, but he kept coming. And in the second half, the two of them were really, really special.
Yeah, how pleasing is it for you, Fran, to see that development from a young man that came from North Dakota, transferred, opted to stick around another year and really work on his game. And, I mean, he's facing these big guys every game, but he's outworking them.
He's outworking them, and he's figured it out. I mean, he's also expanded his game. Like, he's putting it on the deck more. He's getting it off the glass and pushing it. You know, we're running the offense through him. A lot of teams like to ice side ball screens, and we hit him on a short roll, and he makes plays from there. And we can do that in the middle too. He can just pick and pop, and drive, and he's very comfortable now. Last year, he was trying too hard to be perfect. And you know, like I always say to our guys, this is not a game of perfect by any means. And it's not going to be perfect when you play fast like we do, when you're in a high possession game. So what you have to do is, if you make a mistake, just run back and don't let them score. And don't let it linger on you. But if you're not confident in your ability to go make a play, then you are going to make a mistake. And he's really comfortable right now in his own skin making plays. And they've got pretty good chemistry, those three guys, Connor and Chris. And
I think your whole team does. Yeah.
They do. You know, we had, you know, like yesterday when Patrick cut back door and Connor hit him on a bounce pass for
Great
a layup.
pass. Mm-hmm.
You know, those kinds of things are so critical. Tony had a couple really nice passes early. He missed Patrick once we were on the one set. They chased the back picker.
Second half, yeah.
And I think he felt like he was a little too far. But we'll show that to him on film, and he'll make it the next time.
Fran, the more I watch Philip, it dawned on me yesterday, because I don't ever remember a game, at least this year, where I saw more shoulders go into other guys' chests, and they let him play. Philip looks much more comfortable with contact, inviting contact, giving it back. He hit at least 3 quick pop jump hooks in the lane that he wouldn't have even invited that last year. But he's so much better at that inside contact and that roll to the basket and get it up there. Shot fake.
He's really feeling good about himself on that particular move. And what's happening is our opponents are scouting it. So now he's got a shot fake and step through. He's got to come back the other way. Or he's got a Sigma face-up, shot fake rip, and do that with contact, without traveling, without lifting up his pivot foot, or recognizing, okay, like they may double him, they may not double him, but they might dig on him. A lot of times I think they choose to dig on him more than double him. So once he puts it down, you know, now they're coming, they're poking, they're reaching. And then you got to make a quick decision. Am I going to go? Can I get there? Or do I draw the guy a little further and just kick it out? And he's doing a good job with that, too. He's not a big mistake guy. He's not at all. And like I said to you many times, both of you, you know, the thing I love about him is he's just committed to winning. He just wants to win. And you don't win making mistakes, and you don't win being selfish, and he's incredibly unselfish.
No turnovers yesterday. Yeah. Played 35 minutes, 16 points, 8 rebounds for Philip Brach, 4 of 7 from the free throw line, becoming
2 assists, no turns.
Yeah, complete player. And you know, the tip-off to me is every opposing coach I interview on the pregame show, Philip's usually the first guy they bring up. Well, we know about Chris Murray, we get Connor McCaffery, but you know what's made the difference in that team is Philip Brach, and that's just great to hear. We're going to come back with Coach McCaffery and your posts on Twitter and Facebook after a brief timeout. Of course, we're at the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing. Beautiful spot in the Iowa City, Coralville area. We're in the Edgewater Grill and Bar, and we invite you out for Hawk Talk each and every Monday night here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Attention, Hawk fans who buy your own health insurance. Wellmark is on your side and on the health insurance marketplace. Let's give it up for plans you can afford. Check out wellmark.com/hoops to compare plans. Fran mentioned the two first-year sparkling freshmen, Josh Dix and Desante Bowen. We're going to hear from both those young men when we come back and have Coach comment further on this year's prize recruits right after this on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data. That's right, one line, unlimited data for just $29.99 a month per line. Even just one line. Because the only way to make the greatest gift of all even greater is not having to add more lines than you need to get it. Visit us in-store or online to get one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data today. U.S. Cellular, locally grown connection. Limited time offer, terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk on the Hawkeye Radio Network. We're live from the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Grill and Bar. You can also listen to us on the new Varsity Network app. You fans can download the app no matter where you travel in the Apple Store for Apple devices or the Google Play Store for Android devices. The Varsity Network app offers fans instant access to free game day audio streams, plus receive push notifications to remind you of games starting or upcoming audio broadcasts. And you can also watch us and hear us on the official Iowa Hawkeyes YouTube page. Good evening to you viewers, and we're building that audience nicely too. You can reach Coach McCaffery on Twitter at Gary Dolphin or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. Fran referenced Desante Bowen and Josh Dix in our last segment. First-year players, freshmen, it's always a rough go for most freshmen, and especially at this level of Big Ten Division I basketball. Josh Dix and Desante Bowen have gotten their feet wet with Division I and Big Ten play. Both average about 11 minutes of playing time. They'd like more, but they're biding their time. Both average a couple points. Both were prolific high school scorers in New England and Council Bluffs. And both, starting with Desante Bowen, realize that you have to manage the highs and the lows.
It's been good, up and downs. It's been good learning experience, getting our feet wet, and just getting used to the college game.
Josh, how about you?
Yeah, there's been a lot of up and downs, but there's been a lot of learning experiences and, just in practice and games, just trying to get better every day. And we're young, so we got a lot of time, but just keep evolving our game.
You're both averaging about 11 minutes a game. I know at least you're in double figures. That's never enough. But what has come naturally for you, Desante? What's been the most difficult adjustment?
Difficult, I'd say the spacing's a lot different than the high school game. Like it's a lot more packed in, so it's kind of reading that second defender more so knowing you could get by whoever's guarding you, but just reading what's coming after that. And then the most successful, I'd say, is just letting the game flow to me with the opportunities I do get out there, like not trying to force anything. I mean, it may not always work out, but I know the plays I'm making are plays I can make.
Josh, how about you? What about the highlights? What about the pitfalls?
Yeah, the easiest thing I feel like is just kind of like sharing the ball. Like I feel like our team does a really good job of sharing the ball. So like when you give it up, you know that you'll get it back or something, or maybe the next possession you'll get it back. So I feel like sharing the ball, it's been pretty easy. And then the hardest part I would say is just the speed and physicality. I mean, the Big Ten's probably the most physical league. So just adapting to that. I mean, on defense, offense, all over, it's just tough. It's been tough, but it's good.
Two talented young men in Josh Dix and Desante Bowen. I want to mention, too, that also in this recruiting class is Dante Eldridge out of North Liberty and Iowa City West. Played at Kirkwood for a couple of years. Dante is the son of Hawkeye assistant coach Courtney Eldridge. And Amarian Nemmers out of Rock Island High School. Fran, I know you're high on those two young men, but you just heard Josh and Desante, and they speak well about biding their time and living through the highs and the lows.
Yeah, it's never easy. Both of them are really good players, like I said, and I would love to give them more playing time. Seems like a minute ago, Tony and Aaron were in the same boat. So their time is coming. Dante is somebody that obviously we know well, Courtney's son, and also he was a point guard for West High when Patrick was playing. They're best buddies. And Marion is a really talented guy. I mean, he had Division I offers. He wanted to take a shot as a preferred walk-on at the Big Ten level. Really athletic, kind of a bucket getter. But what he's doing is he's really, working on expanding his game, because at his size, you want him to be able to run the offense or play the off-guard position, guard 1, 2, 3, and just kind of figure out how the scouting is done and the sophistication of our offensive system and understanding the nuances, which will be great for a guy that has his kind of shot-making ability. That takes time, so I think the best thing for him was to redshirt. That's why we redshirted him, because that gives him another year. And, if it gets to the point, in his senior year or, later in his career where, okay, he just wants more playing time. Like he wants a different role. You look at a guy like Austin Ash. Mm-hmm. He very well may lead the nation in three-pointers made. When this thing is all done, if he's not first, he'll be second or third. He's made over 93s already. He was on fire on Saturday. Scored 13 points in like a minute 30.
He can do it.
Hit a couple 40-footers. But no, if he came back this year for us, he would have played some. Yeah. He would have been a factor. But he wanted to go somewhere and play 38 minutes and take 15 shots and average 5 or 6 rebounds a game out of the guard position, be the guy they go to coming down the stretch.
You know, he's pulling up from 25 feet, you know, at North Carolina. You know, good for him because he really worked on his craft. Now he also he got bigger and stronger. He was a skinny kid coming out of high school, but he lifted and he matured and he grew a little bit. So just, you know, watching him and Michael Bear this year. Michael Bear is starting at Siena. They have a really good chance to win the league. He was Player of the Week 1 week. He had 19 and 13 when they beat Iona in front of about 10,000 people at what was the Times Union Center back when I was there. I think it's called something else now. But I was just thrilled for him, for both those guys, because they were just incredible Hawks, you know, team guys, obviously very close to the entire Bear family. And it was awesome, you know, that when Michael's dad, John, passed away recently, it was, you know, that was right when he had his that's right when he was playing the game. Terrific. And Rick Pitino was really a good guy. He tweeted about it. He says, you know, we lost, we got outplayed. It's never a good feeling, but you know, we're really happy for Michael. Michael's averaging 5.6 rebounds a game and a couple. Every time of I look, he's got double-figure rebounds, and he's directing traffic out there. He's calling, you know, he's talking to everybody. You know, going like we say, you know, not to be underestimated. Going against Luka Garza every day in practice, you know what that did for his development. Great point. I mean, this guy came out of high school. He was a late bloomer. He didn't grow till late, so he didn't even do much at Bettendorf until his senior year. So he wasn't on anybody's radar. You know, of course, we welcomed him with open arms because of our relationship with the Bear family. And then over time, he just kept getting better, and he worked at it. Like he would come in and get extra shots up, and he would lift and get stronger. But the other thing, and I've said this before, like Luka didn't go easy on him. Luka tried to murder him every day. He doesn't go easy on anybody. Yeah, he's just like, it's his best friend, and he's trying to assassinate the poor kid.
That's how you get better, right?
That's how you get better. And the thing about Michael was he kept coming. Like, he didn't back down from Luka. So they both got better. That's courage. That's what it's supposed to be.
Fran, obviously, Siena, that's your connection, but how does that conversation go on like, hey, I know a guy, I guess, or we know Ed Conroy down at the Citadel, obviously.
Yeah, I had to sell Austin more than I should have.
It's different down there, I mean.
Well, what happens now, to answer your question specifically, when a player's available, there's 2,000 of them.
Sure.
So in the beginning, nobody can make a decision. Yeah, I like him, but I'm looking at 15 other guys at the same position. Okay. I really need a 4, but maybe I'll take a shooter. Like I told Carm about him at Siena, but they had the kid Playtech, who came from Carolina. You know, so their starting 2-guard at Siena was his 2-guard that played against us a couple years ago, playing for North Carolina.
Yeah, you bet.
He hit a couple threes against us in that game. So there really wasn't room. Now, I told him, I said, play them both together, and you'll make more threes than anybody else. But like SIU Edwardsville, they have a really good team coming back, and he went hard at Austin. But I talked to a number of people that, you know, they just weren't ready to pull the trigger on him. Now, luckily, I spent some time with Ed at Jack Devlin's graduation party. I said, Ed, you need to get this done. Because I know when you walk into a new job these days, everybody rates your team. It used to be if you got a new job, the guys that were there would come back. Well, now everybody's a free agent. So if you can keep 3 or 4 guys, you're lucky. That's what happened to Billy Taylor. His team wasn't that good last year, but the good players all left. So now he's scrambling in the portal, and that's what everybody does. So you know, for Austin, you know, Ed, I've known Ed for years. Ed trusted me. Like I'm not selling him a guy to do a guy a favor. Like I said, look, this guy's going to help you, and he loves Austin Ash, and what a great place to go to college. You know, he's right there in Charleston. It's a beautiful city. Beautiful campus. I coached in that league. That's where UNC Greensboro was in the same league. So we used to have our conference tournament in Charleston.
How many schools are in Charleston? 4? 5
Well, you got
universities?
Charleston and Charleston Southern for sure.
Citadel.
And the Citadel, that's 3.
Yeah, we went down there and played.
I don't know which other ones.
Yeah, and Ed gave me the tour on his first stint down there at Citadel. He had me come over to the lunchroom, and it's eye-opening.
Looks different.
Discipline.
Well, the good thing for Austin is he doesn't have to do the military.
You have to do all that, yeah.
As a grad transfer, you don't have to do the military stuff. I remember his personality would probably not fit.
Drop down and give me 20.
We went down there to play him one year. This is hilarious. So we pull in, and we drive by, and there's these guys in sweatsuits holding rifles over their heads, jumping up and down, and somebody screaming in their face on a Saturday morning. That's how you want to start your day, Dolph. Right there.
At 5 a.m.
Yeah. So then we get in there, and the place is electric. It's packed. Okay, well, come to find out, they offered the kids Krispy Kreme donuts before the game, pizzas after the game, and a weekend pass.
Oh.
Every student was there.
No wonder they had 10,000.
And they were all like this kid. In another hour, we're going to be set free to go downtown and not have somebody screaming at me.
Mauling on donuts.
I got a full stomach, and nobody's yelling at me.
Nobody's yelling at me.
It's a good day.
I ran into that at VMI one year. I was on a Civil War battlefield trip, and it was, mid-morning, 90 degrees in June, and my buddy and I are driving down. I didn't realize that Washington and Lee College and the VMI campuses are connected right there. They're right there. And I saw it. I mean, I thought I was in the middle of a battlefield. I thought a reenactment or something. Here they're the VMI kids. And I've never heard a drill sergeant yell that loud. It sounded like a head coach.
Really good Italian restaurant right there.
Is it?
Yes. Right up the street from VMI. Yeah, Franco's.
I got to write that down. We'll take a break, come back with Coach McCaffery. We're going to go to Facebook and Twitter when we return on Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency from Learfield.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
When it comes to great sounding deals, sometimes the only thing you can trust is that there's something they're not telling you. So when we tell you that at US Cellular you can choose from any unlimited evolved plan and get $700 off any phone with no hidden requirements and no trade-in needed, you're probably thinking, yeah, right. But in this case, that actually is right. Because at US Cellular, you actually can trust that we mean what we say. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this.
with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
Yeah, the cheering section right on cue here at the Edgewater Grill and Bar in the Hyatt Regency. Monday night Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery, who will rejoin us here in a minute. But first, a U.S. Bank scoreboard. Not a whole lot going on this evening. Nothing in the Big Ten. Of course, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs and all you Chiefs fans, as Patrick Mahomes led the Chiefs to their second world championship in the last few years. With an electrifying, thrilling win over the Philadelphia Eagles. I think we got it right with the two best teams in the NFL playing last night or yesterday afternoon. 38-35, the Chiefs hold on for the victory. College basketball, North Carolina in danger of going down at home. Now Miami's ranked 15th, and they lead the Tar Heels 73-69 with less than a minute to go down in Chapel Hill. We know how difficult it is to win in the Dean Dome, the Dean Smith Arena, but right now Miami had another good team leading 73-69 over North Carolina. Sixth-ranked Texas is at Texas Tech. That game will be starting shortly, as well as number 9 Baylor hosting West Virginia. That is our U.S. Bank scoreboard update. Thanks to U.S. Bank, a proud supporter of Hawkeye basketball all season long. By the way, baseball's not far around the corner. The teams report for spring training here in about 10 days down in Florida and Arizona. And Hawkeye baseball is coming up in a hurry. Coach Rick Heller and the Hawkeyes will host 27 home games, including multiple Big Ten weekend series starting in March. Season tickets and custom mini plans are now on sale. Visit HawkeyeSports.com. And born in the heart of Iowa, Authentic Brands Premium Sportswear serves the everyday demands of small businesses and corporate America. Don't settle for less. Look, feel, and perform your best in the Authentic brand label. Let's take a 10-second ID break here. Station identification time for our Hawkeye Radio Network affiliates here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. 10-second ID break. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. And we're back to our Hawk Talk program with Coach McCaffery. He's going to give us his club car wash keys to the game. Ohio State is in town on Thursday night, an 8 o'clock tip-off. Our pregame coverage starts at 7 with Bobby and yours truly. And that's next here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I thank you.
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus, all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender member FDIC.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data. That's right, one line, unlimited data for just $29.99 a month per line. Even just one line. Because the only way to make the greatest gift of all even greater is not having to add more lines than you need to get it. Visit us in-store or online to get one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data today. U.S. Cellular. Locally grown connection. Limited time offer. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
So get to your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Grill and Bar. Coach McCaffery, Bobby Hansen, and yours truly, Gary Dolphin. Thanks for joining us on Monday night. Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to go to Facebook for Coach McCaffery here before we get his club car wash keys to a victory over the Buckeyes on Thursday. And Jeff on Facebook is our winner of tonight's Authentic Brand $100 gift certificate. Authentic Brand, a proud partner, not only outfitting our broadcast crew, but outfitting thousands of fans on game day. Gear up for game day and every day with Authentic Brand. Coach, I thought this was appropriate since we were talking about preferred walk-ons and first-year players. Jeff says, Coach, how much do you value the 5-star rating system of recruits? During recruiting, what other qualities or characteristics beyond the star rating system do you look at in a high school player?
Well, to answer the beginning part of the question, I don't pay any attention to it at all. I'm getting paid to evaluate. You know, somebody else says the guy's a 5-star, a 4-star, or a 3-star. Well, that's his opinion. You know, I'm supposed to come up with my own opinion. I'm supposed to hire people who can accurately assess whether or not they're good enough to play in the Big Ten. So that's kind of how we do it. You know, we look at everything. You know, the first is character. We talk about that all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're not a good person, I don't care how talented you are, you're going to wreck the team. So we want good people, and then obviously you have to have a certain level of athletic ability. You have to have a certain skill set. You have to understand how to win, how to compete, how to work, how to prepare. So you're doing your homework. Is this guy a worker? Or is this guy lazy? You know, is he a guy that's going to be in trouble? Or is he a guy, you know, if you're looking for him, he's in the practice gym. He's working out. He's with Coach Maxwell. He's in weight room. You know, he's got a class at 11. Okay, so if we went over at 11:50, would he be walking out? Or he wasn't in there in the first place? You know, so we make pretty good assessments on that kind of stuff. And, you know, I could care less, you know, I mean, with all due respect to those guys who do it, and some of them do it professionally, it goes back to the days of Howard Garfinkel. He was the first one that would try to quantify an athlete's ability to be good. So it was really hard. You had to, first of all, be invited to go to 5-star basketball camp. Mm-hmm. And he had a 5-star rating system, he and Tommy Konchowski. God rest the souls of both of them, two that probably belong in the Hall of Fame for their contributions to basketball. So, you know, if you were lucky enough to go, I remember I went up there in the summer of 1976. I was going into my senior year of high school, and Albert King was there. He was the #1 player in America. I made the All-Star game. I mean, there's probably 15 pros in the All-Star game. I mean, every college coach is standing courtside in Honesdale, Pennsylvania, in the Pocono Mountains. And your skill set's on display. You're playing outside.
Oh man.
And the food was horrendous. You're still living in cabins.
Did you have air conditioning? I don't think they had.
They didn't need air conditioning in the Pocono Mountains.
That's cool.
Not air conditioning, not needed.
I'm thinking of the one in
You needed 3
Milledgeville.
blankets at nighttime. This was
blowing.
August.
Winds blowing. Never been. Never was invited.
Yeah. So, but he was the first guy, and the thing I always respected about Tommy Konchowski is he wouldn't rate a guy unless he saw him. So then there was guys like Van Coleman did it in Iowa for many years. Van was really good. Like if Van evaluated a guy, you could trust his
evaluation.
Yeah, like Van, you're always going to get a few wrong. Sure, but he didn't get many wrong. Bob Gibbons out of North Carolina was really good. There's a number. There was various guys. Joe Butler was in Pittsburgh. You had various people throughout the United States. You had a number of them in California. You had a lot, like 5 or 6 guys in California. But now with the internet, it's a little different. You have 247 Sports and Rivals.
There's a bunch of them.
We have the 51st ranked sophomore in the country sitting right in front of me.
He's not bad.
On Rivals. Yeah.
Nice. 51st. You're not in the top 50 yet? Come on.
What are you ranked on? 247. Okay.
He's humble. We can't mention his name.
We can't mention his name.
No, most people would know who he is.
We know him well.
Bobby,
but everybody gets hung up on it. I honestly think it's more of a football thing. They get hung up on that in football too. How many 3-stars has Kirk Ferentz put in NFL? So like if you're a 3-star in high school and all of a sudden you're in the NFL, does that mean you were a 5-star? Or at least a 4-star, right? If you're in the NFL, I would think. Like what was Josie Jewell? He was like a 2-star or something.
He was a no-star.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah. Best player in the country at the middle linebacker.
Tackles everybody that has a football in their hand.
Kirk always said, I could care less how many stars they have behind their name when they come to Iowa. I am concerned about how many stars they have after their name when they leave Iowa.
Thank you.
And that's a great
Thank you. So you're evaluating all that other stuff.
What were you, Hanson?
That's a long time ago. I don't remember.
Did they have the star system?
I was there with Ralph Sampson. We had a great class. That class of '79. I mean, you start Ralph Sampson, Isaiah Thomas, Antoine Carr. No, he was 77.
Magic was my class.
Yeah,
Magic was with you.
77.
He was the number 1 player in that class. Was either Albert King, Magic Johnson, or Gene Banks. Gene Banks was out of Philly. Played at Duke.
Yeah, Gene Banks was a phenomenal talent.
He was. Well, he had the same body in his 8th year for the Spurs that he had when he was a sophomore in high school. The same body. He would destroy the glass. Every rebound he would get.
He's built like a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
I mean,
he could have made a lot of money in the NFL.
Hey, Coach, quick question back to Minnesota.
I was a 4+, by the way. I was a 4+. I wasn't a 5-star.
Is that academics or is that?
No.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have a 4.0 either. I had a 3.85.
That's pretty good.
You did okay. That's pretty
okay.
good. Looks like. My question, and somebody asked me today at work, was how's Fran like coaching up on that elevated floor? Kind of up there out on stage, kind of.
Minnesota.
I don't care for it. Nobody's asked me. I'm just shocked that nobody's gotten hurt over the years.
Fly off there, yeah.
Because I've seen guys fly off there, and you've seen it. You're flying off onto cement, and there's metal railings there. Like you're trying to save a loose ball. You have 3 feet. You have
the bleachers are right there.
It's an athletic accomplishment if you save a ball out of bounds at that place.
If you jump over the reporters, you're dropping down 4 feet. Almost.
4 feet. And you got to come to a complete stop because there's a railing right there if you keep going. So,
and you don't want to let.
I just can't. I can't believe they still allow it. I just don't. I don't believe it.
We've seen a few bloody foreheads where they've gone first. Now, if you dive into the barnyard or the moo crew, as I was called, you're going to land on students. That's not quite.
I'm really in favor of the old barns. I grew up in the Palestra, right? In like Williams Arena and places like that. Hinkle Fieldhouse. I mean, how cool is that place?
Oh man, unbelievable.
And so I just don't like that floor, and I don't like the fact that there's no room for error.
No, there isn't.
From our perspective, Fran, at least they changed that gray out, and they got a natural wood floor. I mean, last year it was
looks
like
better.
Barn wood.
It looks slipperier.
It was.
It's better now.
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Let's get our Club Car Wash keys to the game from Coach McCaffery for Thursday night's Ohio State game before we take a break. Presented by the official car wash of the Iowa Hawkeyes, Club Car Wash with unlimited memberships starting at just $20 a month. There's no better time to join the club. Visit clubcarwash.com and find a location nearest you. Get that winter grime off your vehicle after that snowfall last week. Coach, if I've heard it once in the last 3 weeks, I've heard it 50 times. What's wrong with Ohio State? That keeps coming up. They played great against the Hawkeyes on that Saturday a few weeks ago in Columbus. What's changed? What's different?
Well, they have, I think, 11 of their 14 losses are in single digits. They have really good players. Like, you look at their players, Chris has got them playing hard. Like, they haven't quit. They keep fighting you. Sensabaugh is as good as any freshman in the country. Forget about our league.
For sure.
And I would say the same for Thornton. Zed Key, we know what he's about. You know, McNeil, the transfer, is really good from West Virginia. You know, he can really shoot it. Likely is a really good player transfer from Oklahoma State. Played really well against us. It was his, I don't know if it was his career high, but it certainly was high this year. And Justice Suing is playing as well as anybody in our league. I mean, that guy, he was the leading scorer at Cal like 3 years ago in the Pac-12. Transferred there, was on a really good team 3 years ago, or 2 years ago. Then he got hurt last year, didn't play. He's back this year, but he's like 25 years old, bucket getter, crafty guy. They're in every game. They're in every game. They're right there, and so. The epitome of a team you don't want to play. Nobody wants to play them, but they've lost some games. So, again, they have some young guys and they have some new guys, and they're battling. They really are.
What do the Hawks need to improve on defensively? And they're playing better defense.
Well, they really took us
game.
Off the bounce.
Yeah.
In that game, we have to do a better job with that. If the rebound a little better, I think. They're big physical. You got the kid Okpara coming off the bench. He's a freshman. He's like 6'10", 6'11", and long, bouncy. But we got to keep him out of the paint.
We'll come back. Those are Fran's Club Car Wash keys to the game on beating the Buckeyes. 8 o'clock Thursday night. Our pregame coverage with Bobby and yours truly begins at 7 o'clock. Back with more here on our Hawk Talk program for Monday night with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. That's next here from Learfield.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back on Hawk Talk, a few minutes left with Coach McCaffery from the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Grill and Bar. Coach, we have a question from Karen in the audience tonight. She wants to know why, when somebody's camped in the lane for 8 seconds, these are her words, not mine.
Who's she referring to? Do you have any idea?
That they don't call the 3-second violation. I said it's kind of a lost art, that 3-second rule.
It is. I mean, a lot of times they have to be reminded.
And you're very good at doing
it. Slow. I count plenty. I think my count's actually accurate.
I agree.
Yeah. Get that big 7'5" guy out of the lane.
He loves to. I was watching Northwestern a little bit last night when we got back, and Zach looks like he's in there for an eternity. And it's not just him.
He's obviously alert because everybody's yelling it. So he'll go in and he'll step out, then he'll go right back in because he wants to catch it deep. Mm-hmm. If he catches it deep,
it's over.
It's pretty much over. It's automatic. So you have a shot if you get him out of the lane a little bit, and then it also gives you time to get the double team there. If he catches it deep, even if you double, you can't get it there fast enough, and he's already shot it.
I remember growing up watching Wilt. They would never call Wilt for 3 seconds.
Well, they put the rule in for him. They didn't have the rule, and they finally said, "Okay, this guy scored 100. We got to put a new rule in."
He keeps standing in front of the
lane. He had 100.
Hershey, Pennsylvania, right?
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Hershey,
yes.
PA, home of the chocolate factory.
Yeah.
Tim has a question. Coach, you've been through the recruiting process as a parent and going through it again. Do you go with them on a visit, even though it might be at a Big Ten or a rival school? Also, how has recruiting with NIL changed your direction in recruiting?
Well, all right, start with the first part. We didn't go on any visits, really, because they both knew where they were going.
Right.
But the NIL stuff has changed the entire landscape of recruiting. It really comes down to, what is the expectation of the particular prospect and his parents. Some wish to go right to that discussion and don't want to talk about academics or roster or style of play or exposure or quality of your schedule. And typically, if I'm dealing with somebody that goes right to NIL, we'll move on. But NIL has to be part of the conversation in fairness to any recruit these days. So we address it and we talk about it very openly, what we do, how we do it. And that might hurt us compared to a school that's just offering a lump sum, which you're not supposed to do, but that's what's being done. Because once they, as we've said on this show many a time, once they coupled the transfer portal and NIL, it became pay for play. And anytime you mention, Congress may get involved, that's the problem. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Somebody has to figure, Congress, I think, should have enough issues they have to deal with rather than worried about compensation of student athletes. But the reality is, it's an absolute mess. And I do think it will be addressed by the NCAA once they figure out what the NCAA is going to look like. Because, as we said, they blew it up.
Yeah.
The president left, and they're got a group that's essentially rewriting the rule book. And it's a rule book that I hope we actually follow, because a number of my esteemed colleagues chose not to follow it before. So are they going to not follow it now?
Good luck.
And my guess is business as usual at some locations.
In certain campuses.
Yeah, some.
Bobby, where'd you visit? You went to Iowa, obviously.
Lute didn't give any other options.
Yeah, Lute
told him.
Said
you have one option.
You're coming here.
He did. Yeah.
But you liked Hank Raymond.
That was, took a late visit to Marquette. I mean, they're national champions, right?
Yeah,
so go up there and hang out and play ball with the guys. And first place, Rick Majerus picked me up in his cruiser mobile, whatever. He had an old Pinto that nobody would steal. He said that's why he drove it. And they'd take you right to Al McGuire's office on the 25th floor of the Medalist Building or whatever Al worked for. And then he started, he collects porcelain. Clowns and stuff. So, your mom, take 4 or 5 of them out of there. I know I'm not taking your stuff.
Your clowns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were pretty cool. I should have taken a few of them. But, he signed a book, Seashells and Balloons, Al McGuire. But I wasn't going to go to an urban campus like that when I knew I had University of Iowa right here. But I was going to take a trip. I went to Texas A&M, which was,
Well, they had NIL then, I think.
Oh, yeah, they had SWC.
Yeah. When I was in high school, I didn't know where Texas. Other than I knew it was in Texas, I had no shot at telling you where Texas A&M was.
Can you imagine walking into an office and it's Hank Raymond's, Rick Majerus, and Al McGuire?
Well, I got to know Rick a little bit. He was a beauty.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he just an interesting character, almost a basketball savant. His mind for basketball was so incredible.
Amazing.
So incredible. And, I took a couple visits. I visited Wake Forest and a lot of the Big Five schools. I mean, I remember I went to Wake Forest and they played Maryland at the Greensboro Coliseum. The place was, I said, okay.
Get your attention.
This got my attention. This is different here. And I remember watching Wake Carolina on television and things like that. The ACC in those days was different because the Big East hadn't even been formed yet, so there was no Big East.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So if you were on the East Coast, you were thinking ACC. If you were in the Midwest, you're thinking Big Ten. If you're on the West Coast, you're thinking Pac-12.
Pac-12.
Of course, a little bit in the SEC.
Yeah.
And then those days it was the Big 8. Was the Big 12. So different times.
Who was the coach at Wake Forest?
Carl Tacey.
Dave
Odom was his assistant. He's the one who recruited me. He was I talked about 5-star earlier in the show. He was my coach at 5-star.
Dave Odom.
Dave Odom was
a great coach.
And then, of course, I coached against his son last year when we played Utah State. Ryan Odom.
That's right.
Terrific.
Really nice guy.
Terrific young coach. Great guy. Yeah.
Those are great memories.
Yeah.
We're here at the Hyatt Regency tonight. Coach, we've got Diane. I want to get this one in. I don't want to. Diane wants to. Fran, what does Margaret get tomorrow? Flowers, chocolate, or jewelry?
Or all the above.
She's already gotten flowers. They came already.
You're way ahead of the game.
Yeah,
I should have known.
I have another gift for her. There's not much jewelry left that I can figure out to get her. I've gotten her just about every possible piece of jewelry.
Well, she likes chocolates, doesn't she? Or dessert. I mean, she's not
a big chocolate person.
She's not. Okay.
No, not a big chocolate person. Right. So,
well, then you've got 2 out of 3 covered. Yeah. So you're good. You probably don't get to go out to dinner that often, do you?
No, we'll go out once in a while. Typically, this time of year, no. Mm-hmm. But occasionally we'll sneak out. We'll go out to a late dinner somewhere, Big Grove or something like that. There's a couple places we would go, but yeah, this is not a time for a lot of socialization. It's just a grind.
Well, yeah,
but you get that here at the Hawk Talk, though. I mean, it's a night out, isn't it?
I think that's one of the things she enjoys about. Tonight she had a function to go to, but she enjoys coming. We got a great group of people that come that she's friendly with, and of course Jack is here. Sometimes the boys will show up. Sometimes Mara shows up, our daughter. So. Yeah.
Come to think of it, she's more intense than you are on game week, so she didn't want to talk to you, does she? She don't want to talk to you.
She is locked in, and she is on the officials hard.
I love it when she walks over at halftime for the obligatory drink of water.
And it's not, hey, ref. It's, hey, Larry.
Come here. Come here, Larry.
I'm not kidding you. A lot of times they'll come out on the floor. They'll come up to me because they always shake hands before the game. Where is she? I said, she's right over there.
They're looking for her.
Watching. And she's staring you down right now.
Was she there yesterday?
She sure was.
Oh, yeah.
She flew up with us because all of her friends
are in St.
She
Paul.
She went out with two of her best friends from high school the night before. Her mom and dad came and a lot of their friends. So she had a big group there.
I'll bet she was in a stare down with Larry at some point yesterday.
Yeah, she and Larry have Larry's the one. She goes there, and he knows it.
He knows it's coming.
He knows it's coming. See, Larry's. He was a homicide detective.
He was.
So, Larry does not rattle at all. Like some basketball coach is yelling at him, he could care less.
Given what he's seen.
I've seen a little bit more than that.
We'll see. Well, maybe we'll see Larry Thursday. Coach, thanks for your time as
always.
All right,
guys.
Yep, thank you. Bobby, thank you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hawk Talk with Iowa coach Fran McCaffery. 8 o'clock tip-off Thursday against the Buckeyes. Tickets available at 1-800-IA-HAWKS. Pre-game coverage at 7 o'clock here on the Hawkeye Network. We'll talk to you Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, live from the Hyatt Regency, this has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery, brought to you by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVdeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.